If you're looking to buy your next pair of wireless earbuds, then there are 6 key areas that you should know about in order to find your perfect pair. We're going to cover all of them right here, right now, and rate how these, the final ZE8000 Mark IIs, measure up. Let's get into it. Now, the first and most important key area is comfort and fit, because if they're not comfy to wear, then everything else is kind of irrelevant. So there are 3 factors you need to look at to find the most comfortable earbuds for you. First up is ear tip sizes. Get a pair of earbuds that come with as many different size ear tips as possible, because the more options you have, well, the easier it's going to be to find a size that fits you. Most earbuds come with at least a small, medium and large size ear tips, but some can come up with 5 or 6 or even more different sizes. The right size ear tip not only means a more comfy fit, but it also gives you a good seal in your ear, which is going to give you the best sound too. More on sound later. Second is weight. Now, the heavier they are, the more likely it is that they will fall out of your ears or become uncomfortable to wear for any length of time. Now, most good wireless earbuds weigh from 5.3 to 6.3 grams each. Anything lighter and I'll be suspicious of their build quality, and anything much heavier and I'd question their long-term comfort. And the last factor to consider to get the most comfortable earbuds are the style of them. The general rule of thumb is that if you have small ears, then you're going to find earbuds with a drop-down stem, like the Apple AirPods Pro 2, a more comfortable fit. Whereas if you have larger ears, then you might find the in-ear models, like the Sony WF-1000XM5s, fit you better instead. For me, personally, I prefer the drop-down stem design as they just fit me better. So how do the ZE8000 Mark IIs rate in terms of comfort? Well, ear tip wise, these come with 5 different ear tip sizes: small, medium, large, and also an extra small and an extra large. The ear tips themselves are nice and soft to wear and come with a shield fin that helps not only with fit, but also gives good sound isolation, which is great for helping to block out background noise. More on the ANC of these earbuds later on too. The design of these certainly makes them stand out, and if you compare them against a pair of Soundcore Liberty 4s for instance, they are significantly bigger. However, despite their large size, they only weigh around 6 grams, so certainly aren't as heavy as they look. I've worn these for hours sitting at my desk or going out for a walk with the dog, and they've been super comfortable to wear. The next key area might sound obvious, but there's 3 factors you need to consider when thinking about the sound quality of your next pair of earbuds. First up is the type of music that you listen to, because if you enjoy listening to dance or rock or similar genres of music, then you'll want a pair of earbuds that have good bass. Typically, you'll also hear people talk about earbuds with a V-shaped sound profile, which is where the bass and the treble are boosted over the mid frequencies to give a fuller sound, and it is better suited to those genres of music. On the other hand, if you listen to classical music or just want to hear music like it was recorded, then you'll want to be looking for a pair of earbuds with a flatter sound profile. Second, even with a pair of earbuds that match your music preferences, it's always good to be able to tweak the sound even more, especially as everyone has different levels of sensitivity to different frequencies, and even age can have an impact on the sound profile that you prefer. So you'll want a pair of earbuds that not only have mobile app support, but also a graphic equalizer built into it too. For those of you that want to change the sound with as little effort as possible, get a pair of earbuds that have lots of different preset sound profiles like rock and pop and jazz. Soundcore earbuds are a great choice here, as their mobile app always has lots of different presets to choose from. If you do want to customize it yourself, then I'd recommend making sure that the app has at least a 5-band graphic equalizer to give you good control over tweaking the sound profile. Thirdly, and this might sound a bit of an obvious one, but it's sound quality. And there are several factors that can significantly impact the sound quality of a pair of earbuds. First is the size of the drivers. Now, these are what drive the sound in your earbuds, and generally the larger the better. Most good earbuds have a size of around 10mm. Secondly, it's frequency response range, because human hearing is the range of 20Hz to 20kHz, and so you want a pair of earbuds that at least support that range. If it's anything smaller, then you'll be missing out on parts of the music. And lastly, it's codec support. Now, codecs are the encoding format that music is sent to your earbuds in. So for Android or iPhone, you'll want at least SBC or AAC support respectively. On top of that, some earbuds will support other codecs like aptX, aptX Adaptive, or even LDAC for high-res audio support that give you even better sound quality for those mobile phones that support it. So how do the ZE8000 Mark IIs rate in terms of sound quality? Well, I'm not going to lie here, and I'm not going to beat around the bush, because sonically, these earbuds are some of the best I have ever heard. They sound fantastic. It's a flat sound profile here with a tight bass that isn't overwhelming nor woolly or thumpy. It might be a bit light for bass heads, but it is very well controlled. The treble is super crisp and detailed, and even the mids are nice and clear too. You can easily hear the separation between different instruments, vocals are super clear, and the soundstage feels wide and expansive. These are great. They have good codec support too, as they support AAC, SBC, aptX and aptX adaptive audio. There's support for a full band graphic equalizer in the companion mobile app, so you can tweak the sound if you need to. But honestly, I have absolutely no need to do this, as they just sound so good out of the box. There is an 8K sound mode in the mobile app which you can turn on that supposedly gives you better sound, but I really didn't notice any real difference with it on or off, and having it on does reduce the battery life, so personally I just leave it off. Again, the sound is so good out of the box, there really isn't much need to change it. Have I mentioned how great these sound? I'm probably overemphasizing this, but I'm doing it with good reason, because most headphones or earbuds that I test almost always need some form or some element of tweaking to the sound profile in order to get the best out of them. However, with these, I just didn't need to do that. Now, there is a price to pay for that sound quality though, and I'll get to that later. Now, for most people, good active noise cancelling is a major factor in buying any pair of wireless earbuds. However, if you plan on using your earbuds in a relatively quiet environment, like at home or a library, or even just out and about in a relatively quiet space like a park, then ANC isn't going to be quite as important for you. For those that need it though, if you're listening on public transport, on a plane, a busy cafe, an office, ANC is a godsend. Ideally, you want to look for a pair of earbuds that have variable ANC, so you can dial in how much noise the earbuds are cancelling out. Earbuds like these Sony WF-1000 XM5s, for instance, have exactly this feature. Now, plenty of earbuds, especially cheaper ones, have their sound imaging massively changed as soon as you turn ANC on. They tend to get a lot bassier with it turned on, or conversely sound quite thin when you turn ANC off. So the ideal is to have ANC that doesn't change the sound profile at all, regardless whether it's on or off. So how good is the ANC on the ZE8000 Mark IIs? Well, they have 4 different noise cancelling modes. They have voice through, which allows you to hear people over your music, but it lowers the volume of the music so much that you might as well just take an earbud out to talk to someone. I really didn't find that mode that helpful. There is wind cut mode that helps to cut out the noise of the rushing wind sound that you can get in earbuds on a windy day. It's similar to the sound of wind rushing past an open car door window. Now, this mode works really well and completely eliminates it. I use it when I'm out walking the dog all the time. Ambient sound mode is supposed to let outside noise into your earbuds so you can hear your surroundings better, but turning it on really didn't make a huge difference compared to not having it enabled, so I'm not sure that it's much use either. Now finally, there is the main noise cancelling mode, and this one, if I'm being honest, was a bit of a disappointment, because there is no real difference to how much background noise you can hear, or rather can't, regardless of whether ANC is turned on or off. You might as well not bother using it. I did reach out to Final to find out what was going on and whether I might have a defective unit, and they replied to say that they favour sound quality over too much ANC, as having too much of it can negatively affect sound quality. Now, I do get that, but ANC makes such little difference here that you might as well not bother including it in the earphones at all. So whether that's an issue for you then is going to depend on how much you need ANC. You do get a good amount of passive noise isolation just from the ear tips themselves though, which is good, but it's certainly not a pair I'd use in a noisy environment. The wind cut mode though is awesome, and I cannot praise that feature hard enough. Now, a quality mic on a pair of earbuds is important, but only if you're actually going to use it. And so for many people, it's rarely a primary reason for buying a pair of earbuds. However, if you need them for calls over Zoom or FaceTime, or take calls on the go, then you'll absolutely want a good quality mic. You should also consider your surroundings as well, because if you'll be taking calls in noisy environments like cafes and airports, or even just a noisy office, then you'll want a mic that is also good at cancelling out background noise. So how do the Final ZE8000 Mark IIs sound for the mic test? Well, I'm out and about, there's a little bit of wind in the background. You listen to the mic on my chest at the moment. If I now switch to the mics on the ZE8000 Mark IIs, you'll now listen to the microphone on these earbuds, so you can hear what you would sound like if if you take a call if you're out and about. Now, certainly there is a little bit of wind in the background, and in previous testing I have found that these earbuds don't do well as soon as the wind picks up. It really starts to struggle in hearing your voice over the background noise of that wind. It's definitely a microphone that is better suited to quiet environments. Any background noise, and it really doesn't do well at all. Now for battery life, you first need to ask yourself, how often do you intend to use them and for how long? Because you're going to need earbuds that last far longer on a single charge if you listen to them for 8 hours at work with ANC turned on, compared to just listening to them on your 1 hour commute in the morning. And if you're taking your earbuds away for a long weekend camping, then you want a case that can recharge your earbuds at least a few times. And if you charge your earbuds overnight, then quick charging won't be important to you. But if you need to charge your earbuds in the middle of the day, then you don't want to be waiting hours until they're charged up. So how long does the battery last on the ZE8000 Mark IIs? Well, you know that awesome sound quality that I was talking about earlier? Well, the cost of that is battery life, because you only get 5 hours of playtime on a single charge with these, which is below average when compared to other premium earbuds that typically provide 6 to 8 hours on a single charge. And whilst most other premium earbuds typically provide around 30 hours of power with their cases, these only give you 15 hours. And that's significantly below par, especially considering the size of the case. However, the final earbuds do offer fast charging, at least, with a 5-minute charge giving you 45 minutes of playback. Now, originally I was going to have waterproofness as the next key area, but it's so much more than that. It's actually your activity, or rather, what are you going to be doing whilst wearing your earbuds that you need to think about? If you're going to be using your earbuds in the gym, for instance, then you want in-ear earbuds that are waterproof and don't fall out. Something like the Jabra Elite 8 Active. Or if you're out running, biking or swimming, then you want to be able to hear your surroundings as well. Well, you want bone conduction headphones, something like the Nank Runner Pro 2s. They might make more sense. So what are these ZE8000 Mark IIs good for? Well, with an IPX4 rating, they'll be fine for the gym or even out and about in some light rain, and the fact that they fit well in the ear makes them great when heading out for a walk. Now, these certainly aren't the only features that earbuds have. Other features such as spatial audio, wear detection, multi-point support, and more should also be considered if they're important to you. However, for me, I think that these are the 6 key areas that are most important for most people. So overall, how did the final ZE8000 Mark IIs do? Well, these are a pair of earbuds that put sound quality front and center over everything else. They have average battery life, a poor microphone, and almost non-existent ANC. However, they sound awesome. At $399 US, though they're not cheap, and being so focused on sound quality, I think targets them at a very particular type of person. The person who values sound quality over everything else and really doesn't care about the rest. Would you buy them? Let me know in the comments down below. I will put purchase links in the description down below so that you can go check these out for yourself. If you want to look at some alternatives, then be sure to check out the link up here. I hope this video has helped you on your journey to buying your next pair of wireless earbuds. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.